Joshua Cuthbertson Show. I'm sitting here with my special guest, a very special guest, here at this Black Broadway Street Entrepreneurship Independence Day. He's a man that grew up right here in New Bern, North Carolina, and he knows some of the history and some of the facts that a lot of us young people don't know about because we wasn't here when he was here. So let's hear about it from him, Mr. Rob Morgan. How are you doing today?
Fine, sir. I appreciate it. It is an honor to be here on your show.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
What we're doing here today in the greater 5 Points area is we're trying to accentuate the black businesses that were here during the 40s, 50s, and 60s. During that time of segregation, this was a self-sufficient area. The 5 Points area goes from what used to be the Frog Pond, which is about 3 blocks east, all the way up to the new fire station.
Yes,
and there were numerous businesses back during that time. We had doctors, dentists, we had dry cleaners, of course we had hair salons, we had entrepreneurs that were clothiers. We had everything that we needed within a 5-block radius. This was our little piece of Harlem, so to speak. And during the 70s and the 60s, right after segregation ended, well, a lot of the support left. A lot of the community support left. And we were left with vacant buildings and no one to come put businesses in there. This was a major part. This was Highway 70.
Yes, sir.
Broad Street is Highway 70. You had to come down Broad Street to get anywhere in eastern North Carolina before the bypass.
You had to come on.
You had to come on this street. This was the way to get down into Pamlico County. This was the way to get down into Morehead City, Havelock, Carteret County, North River. You had to come down Broad Street. This was one of the main veins and one of the main arteries that went through eastern North Carolina.
Oh man, and then as soon as segregation ended, the support left. How did that happen?
A lot of the support left. Well, a lot of times you think that the grass is greener on the other side. There were a lot of things that we thought that we may have been missing, that we were not missing.
Because we had it right here, did you say?
We had it right here. It was a self-sufficient time, a self-sufficient area, and we had everything that we needed. We just needed the community to continue to support and to continue to patronize these businesses. These were all black-owned businesses because we couldn't go anywhere else. There was a drugstore less than 2 buildings down where you could get your prescriptions filled. Dr. Barnwell, Dr. Littman, Dr. Bryan. We had attorneys here in this area, and what we had was a self-sufficient community. We had a grocery store right up the street. We had a bank 2 blocks east of here, a Dillon Bank, and they were actually giving loans to black businesses, and it was a thriving business. This was a thriving community that was self-sufficient, and to a certain extent, immigration was one of the worst things that ever happened to eastern North Carolina, for the simple fact, from a business point of view. We loved the progress, we wanted it to move forward, but we lost a lot of our identity, and we lost a lot of financial support that we didn't have.
It's amazing. So when was you born?
I was born in 1963. My grandfather, Bishop Rivers, opened up Rivers Funeral Home. It was founded in 1929, and his business was 2 blocks west of here, on Broad Street, 1102 Broad Street. And so I grew up in that business. I am a licensed mortician now, 4th generation. I've been licensed now for over 30 years, and I'm an independent contractor in the funeral business. So I go around to different funeral homes. I'm a mortician, I'm a funeral director, I embalm, prepare dead human remains, and then I move on to another job, to another funeral home.
You do what again?
I embalm bodies. I've been doing it. I embalmed my first body at age 9, and I have a daughter that I taught her how to embalm her first body at age
What?
Absolutely.
You embalm bodies.
I embalm bodies.
How did you get into that?
Through my grandfather and my father. And my father, he was mayor here. We had his first inaugural celebration at Coastal Progress, which is a building on these premises. And that was where his headquarters was back in 1979. And so this has a lot of history for me, for my family, for a lot of others that have come through here and they don't even know that their parents, their grandparents, used to come and used to patronize these businesses because we didn't have anywhere else to go.
This was home.
This was home, and this was the hub of the community back in the 40s, 50s, and the 60s.
Oh man, so I know you're gonna say yes to this question, but I'm still gonna ask it because you was born in 1960. So I know you see a difference from 2020 to then.
Absolutely. I've seen some great strides that we've made, and then I've seen some things that were heartbreaking, that were not of what God's teachings are.
Yes, sir.
We have come a long way, still got a long way to go. I am a proponent that love will always win.
Yes, sir.
Love is going to always win over hate. And that's all that through my belief and through my faith, that I think that is the Christ-like teachings, that we have to be Christ-like. And if we just strive to be Christ-like, we're going to fall short because we're human. But if we strive for it, then at least it's in our heart. And as long as we try to love each other every single day and help our neighbor, help our brother, whether they look like us or not, we have to be in the business of loving and in the business of helping each other.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's amazing. So before I go, I want to get to your personal family, your real personal family. You got wife and kids?
This is my wife, Trisha, and I have 4 children. I've got 2 sons and 2 daughters.
Ages? Oh.
My oldest, Devontae, is almost 30, and he is an artist who lives in Atlanta. We just moved to Tampa. He has been in the corporate world. He has a degree from Clark Atlanta University. I have a son, Daquan Carter, who's an entrepreneur.
I remember him.
Yeah, and he's something special. Everything he touches turns to gold. And he's in real estate. Yeah, so he's doing well. My oldest daughter, Casey, lives in Charlotte. She just received her dual degree in Latino Studies and Communication from UNC Charlotte. And my youngest, my baby girl, Corey Lee Morgan, she works with Carvana, and she loves it. Carvana, where they have the cars that go into the little vending machine, she loves it.
You got a family full of hard workers and go-getters.
And of course, my beautiful wife, Patricia Morgan, she is in the healthcare field and has been with the surgery center here in Craven County for close to 20 years.
Yeah.
She is a special woman, and I love her so. And I have one of my little cousins came with me today.
Yes, sir. That's amazing. So, a little bit more about the history of New Bern. So, when you grew up here, how was it? How was it for you as a child?
It was great. I had a good childhood. We used to ride bikes. There's probably not a street in New Bern that I have not been on my bicycle. It was a safe time. Everybody knew each other. You could go to church and you would see your teachers. You could go into the grocery store and see the pastor. You could go everybody knew each other, and it was a very, very good situation. I grew up during segregation, but I went to an integrated school, and it afforded me the opportunity to be able to make friends, both black and white, that have been my friends for over 50 years. I still see them in the grocery stores, and we still embrace. Of course, we have to social distance now, but there's still a mutual type of love and respect there. And it was really, really great growing up here in New Bern, North Carolina.
Yes, sir. So what's next for you and your beautiful family, man?
We just yield to the will of God, and whatever He has for us that He wants us to do, we're going to make sure we're going to check our call ID twice to make sure it's actually Him calling us. And when He says move, we move.
Yes,
But
sir.
until then, we have been blessed with a beautiful family, beautiful kids. Everybody's healthy. And what we do is we just make sure that we keep them first in our marriage, first in our family, and we just try to promote God's love wherever we go.
Yes, sir. Now, before you go, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. I'm going to pick your brain. Give us the secret, man. Beautiful wife, beautiful marriage, beautiful kids. Give us the secret. What's the secret to having a long, successful marriage?
Put him first. Just that simple. You got to put him first, and you have to lean on him. He wants you to lean on him. He wants you to ask him. He wants you to be able to serve him. And it's not hard. All you have to do is treat your neighbor as yourself, and he's going to take care of you. He's going to take care of you. He has blessed me. I have made some mistakes in my life. I've made some wrong turns, but always down the road, there was always a highway that would bring me back to put me back on the right track.
Yes, sir. That's amazing, man. There y'all have it, y'all. That's the end of the 32nd episode with this amazing man, Mr. Ron Water. We are so blessed to have you on our show.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you. It was truly an honor.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Absolutely.
sir. We out.
You had talent. Everybody with talent is not coachable.
Yes, sir.
But you had talent and you were humble, so that goes a long way, man.
I really appreciate
I'm proud of
it.
you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
It's good to see
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. Please continue to show your love and support by clicking the subscribe button below the video. Check us out next week on the next episode of the Josh Cuthbertson Show. We out.